All right. Men don't want to hear about a woman's feelings. They want to feel a woman's feelings. What do I mean by that? Well, I'm going to give an analogy to start this out to make sense of this. So, if you're on a date with a man and you guys are talking, right? And you end up talking about maybe his job or business or all that kind of stuff. And he tells you that, he's not bragging or anything, but you do find out that he's quite successful in some kind of way. And maybe he makes a lot of money and he's quite ambitious. And you find out all those kind of facts about him, right? That might be nice, right? I mean, that's certainly a lot better than finding out that he lives in a crack den and, just does drugs all the time and collects welfare checks. So that's good, right? That would feel good in some way. But to hear about him being a man, right? Just hearing about it, hearing the facts about it is completely and utterly different than feeling him as a man, right? When you're feeling his presence, right? You're feeling his dominant energy. You're feeling his open heart in devotion to you, just that like care and that, you can just feel that, right? You can automatically feel that, and it feels good, right? When you're in the presence of a man like that, it feels so good, feels safe, feels secure. You feel attracted, you might feel horny, right? All those really good feelings. And of course, that's going to really pull you into that man, right? So you're essentially feeling his energy versus you hearing about like him telling you facts about him and his energy and that kind of stuff, right? So it's a world of difference, and I'm sure you've experienced this. You might have experienced a man who talks about all these successful things about himself, but you're not feeling his presence and his really masculine dominant energy, and then you're just not really attracted to him and you don't want to fuck him, right? You've probably had that experience too. Okay. So that's the analogy that I'm going to use when it comes to women, because in a similar way, there's a world of difference between talking about your feelings, right? Just labeling the feeling, saying like I'm sad right now, or I'm feeling whatever, versus really showing him your heart, right? Like really exposing your heart. Not in that way, like where it's like that true vulnerability. It's literally just as different as the analogy that I used. And I mean, it's nice. Like as a man, like as a devoted man, I like hearing when a woman feels sad. Like I don't like her that she's sad, but I can connect with that in some way. But it is a world of difference between hearing that, like hearing the label of the emotion, versus really feeling it, because she's opening herself up to me in that way. And I'm feeling it. Like I am feeling her. I am feeling her pain. I am feeling her sadness. I'm feeling her, feelings of insecurity. I'm feeling her grief. I'm feeling her happiness, right? All of those feelings, both will say negative or positive, but really all of them are beautiful. And most women have a really difficult time showing a man their heart, right? Especially really masculinized women, right? Because they're so much more guarded and contained, and they want to, on some level, well, first of all, they're really terrified of rejection, like having their heart rejected. Of course, that's terrifying. And then they might be identifying with being like really contained and strong and having it all together and all that stuff. And so that's one of the really big things that's going to sabotage your relationship, right? Because, and this is something that I am saying from experience, not just with my woman, right? But also my clients. And this is, because I have had like tons and tons of clients that I've worked with and I've talked to one-on-one. And the I am able to lead them into being really like quite vulnerable and open, right, with their heart, where I can feel that. It often takes a lot of, like, sometimes it takes a lot of work, sometimes it's instantaneous. But the difference is really day and night, right? Where when I can feel, like, truly feel a woman's heart, even though I'm just a random guy, like I don't even know a lot of these women at all. It might just be a client for the first time or whatever it is. If I can really feel them, like, automatically, I just want to do anything I can for them. I'm not talking about as a coach, and I'm not talking about like for money or anything like that. It's just, it's my masculine energy. It's like, I just want to serve you in any way I can. I want to take away your pain, or I want to just hold space for you to be able to share whatever you need to, right? Just serving in any kind of way that is needed in that moment. I want to go, kill whoever fucked you over, right? That masculine protector, and so, and this is something that is such a struggle for women, and that's why women really need to understand it's so much more than just the, like, just saying the words, right? Like, I do talk a lot about words in my books, and in my free group and all that kind of stuff, but it's so much more than the words. The words are just helpful to help you connect more to your heart, right? But if you don't really know how to do that, right, and even with the words, women will often have a ton of difficulty doing it. And if you have a ton of difficulty doing it, it's going to be extremely difficult, well, really kind of impossible, to truly inspire a man's devotion, right? Especially if he's not already like fully devoted and masculine, right? Because he needs to feel you. He needs to feel you on that level to really be inspired to step up in a bigger and bigger way to serve you and protect you, right? Really, he's stepping up to serve and protect your heart. And to be able to do that, he needs to be able to feel it. Really needs to be able to feel it, right? When a woman is truly connected to her heart, right, and she's showing me responsibly, because that's the other issue, is women often don't know how to be responsible with those feelings, but they're able to do that. I can be brought to tears really easily, like really easily. I'm like, I can contain them if I have to, but I can feel that, like, oh, I just want to cry with you, because I feel your pain. I feel your vulnerable heart so fully, right? And that's so much of what's going to inspire a man. Now, if you and this is one of the reasons why I really am so against women like texting men their feelings. It's like, sometimes, I mean, you kind of have to, but women will often use this as like, because it's fucking terrifying to do that in person or on the phone or a video call or whatever. It's a lot easier to do that by text, right? Because there is this wall up that's still, like, you're still able to hide your heart in such a huge way. Yeah, you're talking about it, but you're really hiding it. So that's a lot less scary for you. And then it's also going to be, a man, if he's truly devotional, like, he'll care, but it's not going to be anywhere close to the same kind of thing, like not even close. And so that's one of the really big things that I help women work with. And if this is something that you struggle with, right, you have all these guards up, you're really contained, you feel that masculine energy, and you just have so much difficulty letting it go, right? With a man, you have so much difficulty just letting it go, and you feel all that fear and you feel that anxiety, right? That's something that we help women do in the Radiant Woman Academy, is to really lead women into their heart and just practice that over and over and over again, right? Just get you to the point where you're able to just fully be in your feminine, and just fully, it's like kind of hard on your sleeve, both the good and the bad. And you're not really, you let go of that kind of needing an outcome all the time, like really needing to be seen and validated. And you're just able to be, right? And of course, that the irony of that is that when you're able to do that, you will be seen and validated most of the time, especially by a devoted man. Like, they crave that. That's like crack for a man, for a devoted man, for a heart open man. And any woman can learn how to do that, right? It doesn't matter how much trauma you've experienced. It doesn't matter what your personality type is. It doesn't matter how disconnected you are from your feelings, because that's another part of the issue, is the actual disconnection entirely. It doesn't matter how many walls and guards up you have. You can learn to do that all the time and just be, and just imagine, like really just imagine if you were able to get to that point where you could just express everything, any feeling all the time, whenever you feel it in the moment. It's like automatic. It's not something where it's like, oh, I should express this. I should express this. Oh, but I'm not expressing it yet. Oh, I'm really scared. I know I should express this. Okay, maybe I'll just do it by text, right? It just, oh, I feel this, I'm going to share it. Feel this, I'm going to share it. And the problem is, I mean, if you're in a relationship, you can work towards that. And of course, that can still really take years of getting to that place. If you're single, you're in, there's an additional issue where if you are so guarded and contained and not really able to express with your feminine energy and just be vulnerable, so you're going to always be you're going to tend to attract men that aren't really that devotional, right? Because who are those men going to be going after? Well, the ones that are able to express fully, heart open and vulnerably, and don't require all this work, like tons of work, to lead into their hearts, right? And most men don't know how to do that anyway. But even if they did, it takes a lot of time. It's a really big struggle. And so you're going to be attracting the wrong kind of men that, ironically and sadly, are not, they're going to be a lot less likely to be interested in taking care of your heart. And of course, that's not going to be every man that you attract, but they're going to be a lot less likely. The ones that you really, really want, that are already really masculine and are dominant and just devoted to wanting to serve your heart, they're going to be the ones that are going after the women that they're just showing their hearts fully already, right? And it's so much more than just the words. So much more than just the words. And this is a difficult skill, right? Like, I don't want to in any way, it's basically the equivalent of a man who's like really feminized and has like no presence to him and like no dominance whatsoever. You don't feel any of that energy, and it's just like, okay, I don't feel your cock at all. I don't feel penetrated in any way. Like, I'm just not really attracted, right? That's the equivalent. And it's really difficult for a man who is like that to completely shift his energy into that more commanding, dominant presence where you can just kind of feel penetrated. But of course, men can do that too. But it takes a lot of work, and it takes a lot of understanding of where you're going, and it requires certain tools to really get there and speed up your progress. Because otherwise, right, like if you can hear this video and resonate and be like, yeah, that makes a lot of sense. And even if you are working towards it, it could literally take decades, right? If you don't know exactly a clear, strong method to do that, and have the accountability for doing it, and having the willingness to push through all your fears to do it, and just know exactly where you're going and how to get there, it can take a really long time. And the question is, do you have that much time? Can you wait like 5 years or 10 years going, like, attracting these men that, ultimately they're not giving you what you really need, or being with a man who's not giving you what you really need, and you're trying to work on yourself, but it's just taking a really, really, really long time? Do you really want to wait 5 more years? Do you want to wait 10 more years, 50, or even like never even being able to get to that point? Because this, for a woman, this is going to be one of the most difficult skills. Like, I'm going to call it a skill set, right? It is a skill set in a sense. It is also just your ability to be. It's a skill set of being the best version of yourself, the most open and feminine and beautiful and vulnerable version of yourself. But, you know, that is really a skill set. And so if that's something that you really struggle with, right, you really have difficulty just being able to do that, you know, being able to fully open your heart, and show what's in your heart all the time, not even just talk about it, because it's so much more than just the talking. So just showing your heart, and developing like both courage and then confidence in being able to do that, and it just becoming second nature to you, and being able to do it with emotional responsibility, so you're not dumping that on him and putting expectations on a man and trying to get an outcome or anything like that, because he's not going to feel good receiving that either. That's going to feel really crappy for a man. It's going to push him away. So if you really want to become that woman, you want to do it really fast, really efficiently, so that literally by like the end of the year, you're living in a totally different reality with your man or with men and with yourself. Well, I would really encourage you to go to relationshipofyourdreams.com and book a free call with me, so that we can talk about whether the Radiant Woman Academy is right for you. Because that's one of the really big things, the main focus is that we will help you do there, right? And get lots of, it's not just about content, like actual real practice doing it over and over and over again. This is experiential learning, and it's scary, but it's so fucking fun too, both for me and David and the other coaches, right? You know, like what an amazing gift to be able to help a woman do that, but also to just feel that, like, wow, to be able to feel that so much. That's amazing and beautiful. And then also for you to be able to experience that and finally just be able to be seen and to feel that and just let it out, all that containment that you've been holding back, or maybe you've been trying to express your feelings, but it just hasn't been coming out right, and men or your man just hasn't been receiving it well, right? Just imagine how good that will feel to be fully received and validated for that, and to know that, like, you know, this is how it's supposed to feel, and it feels so good. And then most importantly, for the man that you're with or are going to attract, to be able to do that so easily, so that you can just be yourself all the time and not have to worry. When you really get this skill set down, it's one of the most important aspects of yourself, where you can just fully let go of control. You let go of control of anything, and your man's just going to want to serve you and take care of you, like literally. But if you don't know how to do this, he probably won't, or it'll feel kind of like a burden, or just like this like unfun responsibility, but not that feeling of just like, fuck, I just want to do anything to serve you and fill up your heart, right, all the time, make you feel amazing, and take away all your pain, and just hold space for your pain, and just hold you and just love you, right? Like that's what a woman wants from a man, and that is what you can have, right? I don't care where you are starting from, that is what you can have, but you've got to be willing to do the work, right? So if this excites you, if the idea of doing this really excites you, and you're like, oh, I really want to do this, I really want to get to this place, I really want this to become the version of me that I can just express all the time, great. Relationshipofyourdreams.com, book a call, free call with me. We'll just talk about it. We'll talk about your feelings. We'll talk about what you're going through. We'll talk about if you're right for the Radiant Woman Academy. And if you are and everything's good, then great. We can get you in literally that same day, and you can start practicing this stuff all the time, right? Without, like, if it turns out that that's the right choice for you, there's really no way that you're going to fail. There's no way that you're not going to get what you want in your love life. How could you not get what you want in your love life when you have all the skills, all the understanding, all the practice to just be the best version of yourself possible? To really just open up and just fully let go, and to really heal any self-worth issues that you have, any trauma, everything, right? Everything. That's what we want to be able to give for you. So last time, relationshipofyourdreams.com, book a call with me. I want to talk to you. Let's completely transform you and transform your relationship, transform your love life if you're single. That's it. Have a great day, everyone.